Hey everyone, welcome back to another YouTube video. And as you can see, we're in my very functional studio that is clearly not our bedroom because it's currently 7 p.m. and I don't want to film another video outside our house during nighttime because the lighting is terrible. Anyways, for today's video, I want to show you guys a cool little project you can actually do by yourself at home with just a few easy household items you can actually find lying around your house. And with the help of science, together, we'll be making a simple electric magnetic motor, like this one. Ready? Let's get cracking. So here are the few materials that you'll be needing for this project. First of all is a battery. Any type of battery will suffice as long as it can create connections using these two paper clips. You'll also be needing a magnetic wire, specifically this one. For this project, you can't just use any type of copper wire since we need this wire to spin around in a circle. A sandpaper, preferably a finer grit. I'll be demonstrating its purpose later on. A pair of scissors, and lastly, electrical tape. Oh, and don't forget, magnets. Okay, let's get started. So the first thing you'll need to do is find a pen and then take your magnetic coil or wire right here and wrap it around the pen 10 times, leaving in 2 ends for the loop. After doing so, make sure that you coil the wires around until it looks a little something like this one. After that's done, take your paper clips and skin it. Make sure that your paper clips are still fresh. A corroded paper clip will not make a connection with the battery to the coil. Bend the paper clip into shape, like this one. After that's done, go ahead and take your coil back once again and start sanding it. Now, with the use of sandpaper, sand the other end 1 time in the same direction. And on the other hand, sand it 2 times back to back, exposing the copper wire itself. Now this part may be a little tasky and can be a little tricky to perfect, but once you've done it, you'll notice that it will spin. After that's done, take your 2 paper clips and put them in each end of the battery terminals, the positive and the negative. Wrap it around using electrical tape. After you've wrapped your connection to the battery, take your copper coil that you just coiled and put it in the center of both connections, or both ends. Once the coil is centered, make sure that it freely spins around by spinning it. Don't put too much force when trying to spin the coil since it will deform the coil, therefore making it harder to spin around. Lastly, take your magnet with you and put it underneath the copper coil. Once it starts spinning, voila! You've made yourself a simple but pretty cool looking electrical magnetic motor. Now, if you can't find magnets, which by the way, for those 4-year students that are working on their science projects, which is this one, this can be very hard to find. But I found out that speakers actually has a built-in magnet surrounding it. It is called a neodymium magnet. This magnet can be demagnetized and magnetized, meaning it is a permanent magnet. Now this is perfect for our use case because we need the foil to spin around and not lose its gravitational force. Alternatively, if you can't find magnets in your nearby hardware store, then you can try to take a look at any sort of spare or broken speaker lying around your house because speakers have built-in magnets at the back of them. Now, the way a speaker works is that there's a magnet a huge neodymium magnet at the back of the speaker, and then inside there is a coiled coil bouncing up and down, producing the sound or the vibrations, therefore producing sound on the speaker. Now, usually these neodymium magnets are permanent because, well, they need to be magnetized and demagnetized all the time because of how the speaker works. So we can make use of a neodymium magnet in order to substitute our magnet in this case, and it would be plenty enough pull power for the coil that we're gonna make to spin around our motor. So the only way we can actually detach this magnet from its base is by smashing it. So therefore, I came prepared with my safety shield, face shield, and as well as a hammer, and we're gonna break this thing right now. So yeah. Okay. Hopefully I don't break anything else. Okay, in 3, 2, 1. It's kind of getting a little bit cracked. Here we go. So here we have a neodymium magnet, and it's been separated from the speaker. As you can see, because of how neodymium magnet works, and because this is a permanent magnet that needs to be magnetized and demagnetized all the time, its pull through is quite strong, but also weak enough that you can still pull it out. So as you can see, with not that much force, this thing attracts itself to the metal parts of the speaker. And so, with this magnet, we can now proceed into coiling the entire thing and actually making a simple motor. Okay, so now let me explain how the coil spins around in this sort of weird looking connection with the battery and these two paper clips. You see, with the help of these two paper clips, we actually expose the positive and negative terminals of the battery, therefore creating electricity. Now, with the help of the magnet, the electricity from the positive and negative terminals of the battery turns into force. Now remember, we sanded down both ends of our copper coil. Now, these two ends represents the force that is being created within this gravitational field. The end with the exposed copper is responsible for generating that much of the force. And the other half exposed copper is responsible for cycling the gravitational pull around, therefore creating a circular motion. Now, with the help of the magnet, the center of the coil gets pushed around by force, since now the magnet acts as a repellent against the gravitational force of the magnet. Now, it is better if you have a sort of platform that would keep the entire thing steady so that the coil won't move around side to side. Now, you might ask, is it possible to actually reverse the power source that we actually get from our small spinning motor into something external? Well, the answer to that is maybe. You see, we have a battery attached to this motor, meaning that our motor is still being powered by some sort of energy or electricity. Now, this battery is only 1.5 volts. Therefore, anything beyond 1.5 volts will exceed the limit of this battery, therefore not powering it. Now, a simple LED that produces less voltage could probably eliminate when we reverse the energy being produced by our motor right here, but it is still not quite enough to produce a bright enough light. As you can see in this video right here of someone actually trying to power an LED light using a battery. On that note though, science is still a work in progress. Therefore, maybe in the future we could develop some way to create free energy by using magnets and using this concept. Now, this is still a difficult thing to conceptualize in today's reality, mainly because of how impossible it is to create a giant magnet that wouldn't literally attract any metal objects surrounding it, and at the same time creating a giant copper motor that would spin around, therefore creating a huge amount of electricity exceeding, I would assume, 1 milliwatts. But again, that is still for science to seek. And, until scientists actually do find a way for this type of concept to work in real life, then that's still a question unanswered. But anyways, I hope you guys actually enjoyed this video. Leave a fat thumbs up if you actually did this yourself at home. Comment down below your thoughts and some of the things that I might have missed to mention in this video. And click the link up here to watch the previous video that I actually did, where I actually cooked pinakbet, if you're into cooking. And lastly, consider subscribing to the channel. It's free and you can always unsubscribe later if you want to. Now, it's the holiday seasons, everyone, so hopefully you guys are with your family members and you're having a great time during these holidays. It's me, KYLIE, saying stay cool at home, stay positive, stay smiling, and I'll see you guys in the next video.